means exemption from judgment. Exemption from judgment. Because in this Sirach, real quick, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and 6, it says, "And say not his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners." It says, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, or return to the Lord, and put not off day from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance." So you want in that the day of vengeance, all right, where people are going to be destroyed, where people are going to be destroyed from the wrath of the Lord. So you want to have that mark of exemption from judgment from that. You want to have this mark, this thawah. See, but the only way that you can have this thawah, this exemption from that judgment, from the vengeance, the day of the vengeance of the Lord, where people are going to be destroyed like none other time. If you want that, then you have to be spiritual. All right. If you want that, then you're going to have to be on the side of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua when he come back. That means you wasn't with this world. All right. That means you didn't serve Mammon. You were serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and you were crying out because, hey, all this manner of wicked, you was testifying against this place. You were a witness again to see all the abominations that was done in the midst thereof, and you were testifying against it. You wasn't with it. See, but all those that were not sighing and crying, then you were an accomplice to all the wickedness that was going on. You were with it. Okay? So to get this mark, this exemption from judgment, this thawah, to get that, you're going to have to be sighing and crying in sincerity. And the Most High know if you sincere or not, or you, oh yeah, I hate this place, but then you're going to, join yourself to the world. Okay? Now, of course, you got to work, you got to make money so you can, pay your bills and feed your family. But outside of that, man, that's it. Okay? So that's the only way. That's the only way to get that. So now going back to, since I hit that mark, now I'm going to go to the mark of the wicked, okay, which is the mark of the beast. This is Revelation chapter 13 and 11. I'm going to start at. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and it had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." All right, that first beast talking about Rome. All right, whose deadly wound was healed. All right, and it was healed by America, which stemmed from Great Britain. All right, see, but that's a whole nother lesson. But anywho, America is doing the same thing as Rome. Okay, and its wickedness and all the wickedness of all these other nations, the Hamite nations, the Greeks, the Romans, they just put it all, the wickedness together, and came up with some of their own. All right, this is the most wicked. All right, which is America and westernized thinking. Okay, so carrying on. It says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast." All right. He had the power to do because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right. It's saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. All right. So that image going into just their system, their whole, Roman system, and just how it is now. Okay. Let me go hit Revelations so I can have that on deck. 13 and 16. Okay, so carrying on, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. So first and foremost, the physical mark. All right. And then, the rest of it, of the technology of it. Okay. So all of it together. All right. It's technology and how it works and how they put it together, all that, plus the actual physical mark. All right. The mark of the beast, which is that RFID chip, which is like the size of a grain of rice. Okay. So we're going to get the word for mark, which is charagma. All right. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. All right. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right. It's a badge showing your allegiance, your alliance with this present evil world and the powers that be, which is Esau, Edom, and the spiritual demon, Satan. Okay. And it comes from the root word charax, which is a pale or a stake, a palisade or rampart, pales. All right. It says to sharpen, to a point. All right. Let me see. All right. That's the grapho. But I'm going to get the definition of palisade. Let me see what that say. It says a fence or pales or stakes. All right. Like what do you do with a stake? The stake is pointy at the bottom, and you stake, like you stake your claim. You put a stake in the ground. It goes into the ground. And this mark, that's what it does. It's subdermal, all right? And it goes into your skin, all right? It's like a stake, all right? Just like that all that we read about, all right? Physical, okay? Because Esau, Edom, Satan, the Edomites, they're carnal. The wicked nation of people, they're all about carnality. So their mark, of course, would be carnal, all right? And like I say, they're going to push it as something, as it's going to be needed. All right. It's something good for your convenience, something good for you. All right. And they're going to have all type of just different things going on as far as like false flag events and just like they do the Adoap chaos. All right. Order out of chaos. All right. They push and they commit the chaos, but then they come here, but check it out what I have. This is for now. We can have order now, and people are going to accept it. Like it's going to be so crazy out here that people are going to accept anything that they come with to say, all right, this is going to stop the chaos. I got a resolution. Here's the mark. Okay? This is what they're going to do. Okay? So yeah, a pail, a stake. Let me see what that say. All right, it says a stick or post pointed at one pointed at one end for driving into the ground as a boundary mark. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so that's I think that's good enough right there. It's letting you know that it's a stake, you know, that corrocks. All right, it's like a palisade. Okay. Yep. So and this is what they're coming with. Okay, and that is the mark of the beast, a carnal mark to show your allegiance, because I mean, and you may say, well, I'm not, you know, I don't have allegiance with them, but I just, you know, I'm gonna have to, because, you know, but I got this one little part in this Satan's mark exposed by Salem Kirby. It says, imagine page 56 says the choice to bow or to starve. It says, imagine if you were living in the tribulation period. You had a choice to accept the mark and be able to buy food and life, or to reject the mark and face persecution and hunger. Slowly, you watch as your baby cries in anguish from starvation. Perhaps you witness your husband torn away from you, held down by soldiers. He is injected with heroin day after day until he's totally relying on the drug. Then a walk-in automaton. He is released back to you. How long could you stand it? Would you finally break and accept the mark? Or would it take some more coaxing, like watching your 5-year-old child slowly die by starvation? Would this be the breaking point? How strong would be your faith? How strong would be your faith? Remember that. That is just the beginning of what both Jews and Christ believing, well, he going off right there. They don't know no better. But yeah, it's for like, hey, that how strong would be your faith? That is just the beginning of what the Israelites, the saints, may face in this tribulation period. Okay? It says, when something like this is brought to our attention, we tend to disbelieve it, saying that will never occur. Yet we fail to realize that such brutality is occurring even today. Even the world famous Canadian Royal Mounted Police have used a 39-page manual of instructions as their basis for breaking down an individual. The manual advocates the use of brainwashing, sexism, lies, deceit, and deprivation as an assault on his dignity. Imagine the day when you cannot automatically go to the supermarket to buy food. You can't just automatically do nothing because they're going to be regulating things. All right. And for you to be a patriot and you are, you know, you can do the things that they say that, hey, you're going to have this mark of the beast. You're going to, well, they're not going to say mark of the beast. They're just going to say the chip. There, you know, you're going to have this chip. All right. It's going to have there's going to be no more money, dollars or credit cards, none of that. It's a cashless society. It's going to be, everything is going to be on this chip. You're going to, you know, have all your hospital information, and you're going to have this on it, that on it. It's going to be able to open your doors, to your offices, to your house, to your cars. No one is going to be able to steal anything from you, because it's going to be all in your hand. All right, it's going to be all on that chip, right? It says, imagine the day when you cannot automatically go to the supermarket to buy food, when your freedoms will be so restricted that you and your loved ones may die of starvation, and most won't care. But of course, this is not new either. Right now, throughout the world, thousands of children die from starvation every day. But you and I are indifferent to their plight. Why? Perhaps because we are so busy just trying to keep ourselves alive. This indifference will be amplified during the tribulation period. Imagine the scoffs of the crowd. So what? They're starving. It's their own fault. If they would have accepted the mark, they would live and have food they need. Instead, it's their choice for them to follow their God. See if their God will send them manna from heaven. If he did it once, let him do it again. Loaded with their bags of groceries, the people will not pity those who refuse to accept this mark. Okay? So going through all these things that's going to be happening. Okay? It say, hey, would you keep your faith? All right? How strong would your faith be? Okay? How strong will your faith be? Because it says in this second Esdras chapter 9, it says in verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. All right? Saved by his works and by faith where ye have believed. Okay? You shall be preserved from the said perils. What perils? This is Revelation 14 and 8. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all the nations to drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? You shall be tormented with fire if you take that mark. Okay? But you shall be preserved from those perils. All right? If you keep the faith. All right? If you keep the faith, even in times of that tribulation, Jacob's trouble, all right, and especially when that mark is pushed and they say, oh, well, you off the grid, you can't, buy and sell, you can't do what we can do. That's taking this mark, all right, this mark, this microchip, this RFID chip. You can't do the things that we do if you don't take it. But are you going to have that, keep the faith and know that the Lord ain't going to put no more on you than you can bear? Even if you get to a tipping point and you just feel like, oh, I'm about to starve, or I'm about to go through this, or I'm about to, whatever. You got to keep your faith. This time is coming right soon. Right soon. Okay? Don't get that physical mark. You want that spiritual mark. See, but to get the spiritual mark, you got to work for that too. By having faith, by showing your faith, by your conduct, the way you live, the way you think, coming out of this present evil world, praying to the Lord, to beg the Lord to hasten that day. You sighing and you crying for all the abominations that's done in the midst thereof. All right, then you have hope of having that thawah, all right, that mark of the exemption from judgment. That's the mark you want. The spiritual mark. You don't want Esau's physical mark. Because then, like it says those that receive that mark shall drink of the wrath, shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Tormented, dwelling in torments. If you take that mark, if you accept that mark. All right. Even when it's all type of mayhem going on and it seems like everything is going bad, still don't take it. All right. That's the ultimate. Okay. You got to cry out. Two more scriptures that you can kind of read for yourself, because it's going into crying out, which Susanna, all right, that first chapter, goes into, her crying out when, matter of fact, I'm going to just hit I'm going to hit that one scripture. I ain't going to get it all because I've been going for a long time already. This is matter of fact, let me get it right here. This is Susanna. Oh, actually, Susanna is only one chapter anyway, so definitely it's a good read. It's actually in the Apocrypha. All right, verse 23. So these men were trying to have sex with her, and she was married, and they were basically threatening her and saying, "Hey, you can come have sex with us, all right? And then we ain't gonna say nothing to your husband or say nothing to nobody. But if you don't have sex with us," because they were men in some type of position, in some type of power, and they were saying, if you don't have sex with us, we gonna tell them that you tried to have sex with us. Basically, you was on something with us and being wicked, okay? And then you gonna get killed for that, okay? So it says, Susanna, chapter 1, verse 22. It says, "Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side." Meaning I'm going through straits. I'm going through a position of difficulty on every side. "For if I do this thing, it is death unto me. But if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands." Verse 23 is the point. It says, "It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord." Okay, so the point is, it is better to fall into the hands of Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man, and whatever they gonna do to us for us not taking the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, okay, and deal with whatever we got to deal with by them, okay. Starving for a while, going through this, and they gonna name us domestic terrorists, and you're not patriotic, and this, that, and the other thing, and you gonna go through all manner of whatever. All right, you should have the mindset of Susanna. All right, it says, "It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord." It's better for us not to take the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, and deal what we have to deal with man, than to take the mark of the beast and deal with the Most High and these torments and the wrath that's without mixture. It's much better for us not to take the mark of the beast and deal with what we ever got to deal with. All right, that's much better than to take it and then have to deal with the Most High power, because it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All right. And then that Deuteronomy 22, when it talks about how if a woman was getting raped and she cried out, then that man, and if the woman was married, all right, if that woman was married and a man, another man came and raped her and she cried out, if she cried out, then only that man, and it was found out, only that man would be killed. But she wouldn't be killed because she cried out. All right. But if a man took her and she was married and she didn't cry out, then it was found out the man and the woman would be killed. All right, because they both committed adultery, all right, which is a sin unto death. Okay, so the same thing now. We are that woman, all right, and we have to cry out. Okay, we not with this world. We not with it. We against it. So the Lord may have mercy on us. Hey, I'll fall into the hand of man and whatever he gonna do to me, whatever, because it was the Lord's will anyway. But I don't want to fall into the hands of the living power on his bad side. Okay? So that's the point, man. All right, once again, you got on the right-hand side, you got the good. All right? The top son of all. Yahweh Shai, our big brother, Lord and Savior. Then you have the physical counterpart of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which are the chosen children of the Most High God, which are Israelites, which is supposed to be spiritual. Okay? And if you are, then you can get that mark of exemption from judgment. All right? You can have that hope of having that. But if you choose this present evil world, which is evil, which was given over into Satan and the physical counterpart of him, which are the Edomites, the so-called white man, which they all about carnality, which their mark to be God and to play God and to rule over all of mankind with the mark of the beast. All right, that RFID chip, which is a physical mark. All right, and just like the scriptures talk about, as soon as they about to fill their belly, the Lord gonna come. Soon as they think that they got their plan and their agenda fulfilled, the Lord gonna come through and save us, man. Come and destroy them. Okay? So I'm gonna end it there. I know that was pretty long. I'm not sure how long, but Lord willing, that was edifying. And don't take that mark of the beast, man. All right. If you want to have any hope of having the spiritual mark, that thawah, that exemption from judgment, if you want to have any hope for that, then you don't want to take that mark of the beast, the physical mark. Okay? So I'm going to end it there. And with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you Akim pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And with that, Shalom, Abba, Abba.